I'm Josh Baker, and today I want to talk to you about pole vaulting. I vaulted at Leavenworth High School for 4 years, and now I'm going to Pittsburgh State University to jump. This speech will tell you about the history, the equipment, and a little bit about the technique of pole vaulting. Pole vaulting has been around a very long time, but has only recently become more popular. It was likely discovered in several different cultures as a means of hurdling ditches and streams, and in Egyptian culture, it was depicted as clearing walls for invading kingdoms. That's been depicted as far back as 2500 BC. The first known competitions were created by the Irish and date back to 1829 BC. Pole vaulting wasn't included in the first modern Olympic Games until 1896, and the first winners of that jumped about 3 meters, which is about 10 feet, and that's about what a junior varsity high school jumper jumps now. Nowadays, the Olympic vaulters jump about 6 meters, which is 19 feet 8 inches, and the first jumper to ever clear 6 was the Ukrainian man Sergei Bubka, which is also known as the first man to ever clear 20 feet, which he did on the same day. And he accomplished this feat indoors in 1993 and outdoors in 1994, the very next year. He still holds the world record outdoors, but it was broken last year by a Frenchman named Renaud indoors with a jump of 20 feet 2.5 inches. The Olympics didn't have women's pole vaulting until the year 2000, so very recently, and they usually win with a height around 15 feet. Some of the records being set recently could be due to the advancements in equipment. The equipment changes mutually and personally. Mutual equipment are things such as the runway, the box, the pit, the standards, or the crossbar. The runway is the long section of track before the pit that the jumper builds momentum on. Then the box is where the jumper plants his pole and jumps off the ground. When you talk about the box, a lot of people think of like a little hole that you stick the pole in. It's not like that at all. It's actually about 1 foot wide, about 2 feet long, and 6 inches deep, and has a slight decline and slope, and your pole just slides right in. It's actually very hard to miss. The standards are the stands on the outside that hold up the crossbar, which the jumper attempts to clear. None of this really changes, with the exception of the pit, which has changed quite a bit over the last 100 years. Started as things like mattresses and has gone to a high jump mat, and fairly recently has become 3 high jump mats next to each other, and then 2 outer border pieces so you don't fall to the side and onto the ground and fall onto the mat. This is where the jumper lands as he comes down off his ball. Equipment that's unique to each jumper are things like shoes, which I have right here. These are spikes. These are pole vaulting spikes. As you can see, they have spikes in the front of the shoe, and that helps you grip the track and have more power as you run. There are a lot of different spikes you can use. Some people use mid-distance spikes. Some people use long jump spikes. These ones are specifically pole vaulting spikes, but it doesn't matter too much. Just changes like the padding in the heel and things like that. Then you have the pole. This is just a little makeshift pole. It's $5 to make. It's just for drills. The pole can change a lot. The pole is very unique to each jumper. It can be made out of different things. It can be different heights, different flexes. Different flexes can be very unique. And most poles are made out of fiberglass, but it can be carbon fiber as well. And those are the more advanced poles. More advanced jumpers jump on carbon fiber poles. A long time ago, they used wooden poles. They don't use those anymore, though. And it's a very complex sport, and even with all this equipment, you have to have the proper technique to use it. And there's several steps to pole vaulting, but there's 4 main steps that I believe are most important for success in the pole vault. Those are the approach, the plant, the takeoff, and the clearance. The approach is where you build all your momentum for your jump, your attempt. Without a strong approach, you have nothing in your any clearance or anything. The plan and the takeoff are equally as important because this is where you transfer all your energy that you just built in your approach into your vault and into your clearance. So without a good plan and takeoff, your clearance will be nothing. In your clearance, very complex, but short version of the clearance, you go upside down, and this is the part, if you've ever seen somebody pole vault, this is the part where everybody's like, oh, because it looks the coolest. You go upside down and you drape your body over the bar and lean back and clear the bar and land on the pit. But as you can see, the history of pole vaulting goes back to ancient times, and it's only become more popular in recent years, and it's still growing. The clearance of 20 feet, 2.5 inches by Renaud has been very big for the sport because it let people know about pole vaulting. People heard about that. But even with the proper equipment, without the proper technique, you'll never be a decent pole vaulter. It's an extremely intense and exciting sport, and I really hope this speech helped back your interest.